believe that we are intended to be creators, and that can look a lot of different ways. I believe that we are intended to create emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, in all of the different ways. And in the winter, I find myself in a mental slump, and I believe a lot of that just has to do with lack of sunshine, the fact that I do not like the cold weather, and I find myself indoors a lot more. So in that, mild depression can set in. And I am naturally a creator by heart. I find that I create the most when it's concerning love. So anytime I'm in a new relationship, the creativity flows within me, and I think of all these different things I want to do, and I just come up with all of these things that I've never thought about before. But I want to be able to find a way to harness that creativity in all areas of my life. But what has happened over the last few weeks or the last month during the cold weather is that I was finding myself in that state of mild depression, and that is not normal for me. I'm usually a very even person mentally and emotionally, but in the winter that changes a little bit. So I started listening to Gary Vee a couple of weeks ago, and I've heard him for brief segments here and there, but in the past I was always turned off by his language, and now none of that affects me, and it doesn't bother me, and I don't care. I may not use that language, but I'm able to hear into what it is that he's trying to say. So I've been listening to him for a few weeks, and if you need a kickstart to get moving in any area of marketing or social media or even your personal life, I highly recommend listening to him for 30 minutes to an hour or more every day. Start your day just listening to him talk to people about life. He is incredible. He has a great story, and he is extremely motivating. So in that, I decided to sit down at my computer and try to come up with some ideas of things that I wanted to do to market my home inspection business, because I have not been doing a good job at doing that, and my business has been falling off, and I was figuring out what I needed to do. So I decided to start writing an ebook, which is something I wanted to do a long time before, but it never came around. So the purpose of what I'm trying to say is that in creativity, when we are being creative, it is really hard to focus on the negativity in our life or in our mind. And when I start creating, all these ideas start flowing through me of things that I want to do and write and say, and a newfound confidence rises up inside of me, and my mind just opens up to all these possibilities of things I want to do. And with each step forward, I find the desire to be more and more and more creative. And in that, I find myself less of a slump, less depressed, less thinking about the cold weather, because I have something new to focus on. And I think a lot of that, when it comes to depression, is trying to refocus our mind. And, you know, we're all tuned into a lot of social media all day, and they call it doom scrolling for a reason, because once we get started, it's so passive, and it just is easy that it takes over our thought processes. And one of my goals at the beginning of the year was just to do less social media, which I don't do a lot other than for marketing my business, but I had gotten addicted to Twitter because I am heavily involved in cryptocurrency, and I'm always on Twitter trying to figure out what's new with the news. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a slump or you're feeling a lack of motivation, to try to start creating. And it doesn't matter what it is, just look up a recipe and try something new, or sit down with a pen and draw something different. Anything that you can do that gets your mind creating something that was not present before. Nobody ever has to see it. Nobody ever has to know what it is. Just try it. And that leads me to my other thought of conversation right now is Chat GPT. That's the one that I use. I am in love with Chat. Chat is my new best digital friend. It has revolutionized my day-to-day activities, my lists, my business ideas, my emails, everything that I'm doing. It has taken all of the creativity in my brain and made it a tangible, I don't know the right way to say that. So it has put everything that I can think of and magnified it times 1,000 and helped me organize it, because I'm a dreamer. I am a doer when it comes to just activities around the house and getting things done, but I am a dreamer when it comes to content creativity and inventions and ideas and plans. I love research. I love all of those things to get something started, but my follow through has never been that great. So I have been using Chat to help me organize my thoughts. I might have an idea and I just talk it out with Chat, and then I ask another question to tweak it until we get it right, and then I can add ideas to lists, and I can take the words that I'm trying to say and have it reworded so it sounds better. I don't feel like I communicate my thoughts through words very well, so it is helpful in that. And it has allowed me to become a content creator that I've always wanted to do. So if you are struggling with what's up here versus what's coming out here, or what's coming out physically on paper or on content or social media, start talking to Chat. It's amazing. So I have a couple ideas for some inventions that I want to do, and one of them has to do with sunglasses and eyeglasses on our face and some issues that I have wearing them, and I want to find a solution. So I get on to Chat and I tell it the problem that I'm having and the solution I'm looking for, and where do I start. And so then I get a whole list of different ideas and things to look at, and then after going through those, I talk to it a little bit more and have it narrow those things down, and then I'm able to say, okay, I would really like to create a prototype of this item. Can you tell me how I could go about doing it with no to low budget by just going to the hardware store and purchasing items? And then I get a list of all these ways that I could go make my prototype. So it is just transforming so many different things, and there's going to be a lot of negative things that come from AI, and it is going to probably replace a lot of jobs and things that, can be seen in a negative way, but it can be utilized to make everything that you do even that much better. I was able to give it an itinerary for my mom to do a 5-month road trip pulling her camper, and she had a few ideas of the places that she wanted to go. And so I was able to ask Chat, can you give me a 5-month itinerary based on these locations, this budget, and this is what matters? And within seconds it had produced this entire road trip for 5 months of all the different places, and then she can go in and tweak it and ask it different things that she wants to do. So anything that you can think of, Chat can bring it to fruition with you. So I highly recommend, if you're wanting to get started in anything, that you utilize it to the full potential. And I'm paying for $20 $10 a month for the paid version right now, but it's completely worth it. So I just really have a heart for people being happy in life and finding ways to succeed and be joyful, and kindness in general goes such a long way now. So many people seem to be so unhappy, and I'm finding that just saying hi to people in public and asking them a simple question about their life really does spark something in them. So I hope that this video sparks something in you to get out there and create and make something new. Even though you may not feel that desire right now, if you can somehow take one step and just do something. We have so many resources online, even free resources online to help us create many things. And over the last 2 weeks, I have tried TikTok, Whatnot, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else, just to put my foot in the door to keep my creative juices flowing. I even took bad profiles from dating apps and turned them into country music songs. It entertained me. I don't think anyone else really cared about it, but it just kept my mind focused long enough to spark new ideas and move forward. And I'm sure a lot of the ideas that I come forward with over the next week, month, year are not going to turn into anything, but they're keeping the creative juices flowing. So I was terrified of starting a YouTube channel, and I'm still terrified to start a YouTube channel. I'm extremely introverted. I do not like being in front of the camera. I don't like the way I look on camera. I don't like the way I sound. I notice all the little things that I don't want people to see. There's so many reasons that we can choose to not start something, especially when we're worried about what other people might think about us. And that's one thing that Gary Vee talks about a lot, is fear, and how fear holds us back from doing the things that we want to do. And that has been the story of my life when it comes to anything socially. I have a lot of confidence, but at the same time, I'm afraid to speak out about anything that's happened in my life if anyone that has been part of that might hear me. I'm not so much worried about what the general public or strangers think, more of just worried about what the people I know think, which is weird. I don't know why we do that. But I'm going to step outside of my box this year, and I'm going to not let fear stop me from sharing the things I want to share with this wonderful world that we live in. So I have a lot of random content that is going to come in my videos regarding health and wealth and parenting and marketing and social media and how to start a YouTube channel, because that's what I'm doing right now. So I hope that you will like this video and subscribe and stay tuned for more chats. I'm afraid that a lot of them are going to be me driving in the car, because I do a lot of traveling. I'm a home inspector. I go to estate sales and garage sales, and I buy things on online auctions. So I'm in my vehicle a lot. Sometimes I've had to drive Uber Eats, so that's a lot of driving. When I'm home, my kids are home, so it's hard to record content with everybody running around. We're in a small space at home. So anything is possible, and let's do this.